Matthew 13:32. Ha migratron min estin panton ton spermaton. Hoton de auxe the, medzon ton lakanon estin, kai genetai dendron. Hosta, elthein ta petena tu uranu, kai kataskenun intois kladois autu. Here Jesus continues telling the parable of the mustard seed, and we begin with this relative pronoun, ha, which refers back to the seed or the grain of mustard mentioned in the previous verse. We might have expected this relative pronoun to be masculine because the antecedent there is masculine, but it's probably attracted to the gender of this word spermaton. The lexical form there, sperma, is neuter, a seed, which is, and notice this mende on the one hand, on the other hand, which is smaller than all of the seeds, this mustard seed. Now, it's frequently noted that the comparative form can have a superlative sense, and so we probably are right to translate this the smallest of all of the seeds. But when you are comparing it to all of the seeds, the comparative form works too. Smaller than all other seeds, right? Smallest of all the seeds. So here we could, again, smallest or smaller of all the seeds. But, contrast, mende, but when it grows, it is, again, could be greater than the garden plants, is larger than the garden plants, or it could be the greatest of all the garden plants. There's two different ways to render that, but the general sense is clear. And it becomes a tree. And then we have this hosta, so we would expect an infinitive afterwards. We actually have two infinitives. And remember that the subject of the infinitive is going to be in the accusative case, so that's why that's accusative right there. So the mustard seed grows and becomes the largest of all the garden plants. It becomes a tree so that the birds of the sky come and roost or nest or dwell in its branches. Let's look at one or two things. We don't have much time, but how about this auxe the, right there, that auxe the. I don't know if you recognize the lexical form of that is auxano, to grow, and as soon as we follow hoton, we know the subjunctive is coming. We see a theta, bam! It's going to be an aorist passive subjunctive, and it is a third-person singular to match the singular subject all the way back here, the seed, it grows. So we're talking about that. But we look at the context and we say probably this is better understood as a medial passive. It's a passive form conveying a middle idea, isn't it? So that when the seed grows, it is larger than all the plants, or perhaps largest, remember superlative, largest of all the plants, and becomes a tree.